Okay, what I would like you to do is that I want you to read the handout or read the article from your book, and then can you mark them with the big area place? For example, the meaning interpreted by the listener. So where do you think it should go? When we talk about the meaning interpreted by a listener, do you think that's the number 1, 2, 3, or 4? Can I ask Lang Ngọc, please?
Yes, sir. I think this is number 1.
For sure, that's the number 1. Thank you very much, Lang Ngọc. Now, everybody, I would like to give you some minutes, and can you mark them together, please, on the information clearly presented in your book. So can you read the book and mark them one by one, please? In here, we have one characteristic not going to be used. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. So I would like you to look at this one for the final check. So in terms of the speaker, back please. In terms of the speaker meaning, we know that in order to understand that the meaning interpreted by listener, the meaning communicated by speaker or writer, the analysis of what people mean in the utterances, and then we have the contextual meaning. So the first one is the people mean in particular context, how the context influences what is said, and the last one, how speaker adjusts what to say to suit their listeners. And you can have some other characteristics belong to group 3 of how more guests communicated than is said, and group 4 the impression of relative distance. Okay, now I would like you to move on to the next one, please. We are talking about the area of linguistic analysis. In terms of linguistic analysis, I would like you to pay attention to 3 big areas. The first one is syntax, the second one is semantics, and the last one is pragmatics. I would like you to match the area or the words with its definition, please. I want to give you 3 minutes for this one.
Number 1, syntax, I match with C. Number 2, semantics, I match with A, and pragmatics, B.
Okay, thank you very much. Look at this one, please. So syntax we go with C, semantic with A, and B with C, pragmatics. Thank you very much, Thin. I would like you to move further to analyze kind of pragmatics, because in here we say that that's the use, the study of relationship between linguistic form and the user of those forms. When we talk about use of those forms, it allows human into the analysis. So what does it mean to allow human into the analysis? I would like you to look at the conversation between 2 friends. 2 friends having a conversation. Her say that, so, did you? And him, hey, who wouldn't? Okay. So how do you understand this one? First of all, I would like to invite someone who can translate the conversation into Vietnamese before you analyze the conversation. So can you please raise your hand if you think you can translate into Vietnamese, please? So, did you? Ủa, mày làm hả? Ủa, mày làm chuyện đó đó hả? Did you mà. Chứ không phải là có làm hay không? Mày làm phải không? Ok, mày có làm phải không? Ok, so did you? Mày làm chuyện đó? Hey, who wouldn't? Ai mà không chứ? Okay. So I would like you to go back to the conversation in English. So, did you? Hey, who wouldn't? Can you imagine the situation in your own opinion, based on your own imagination, and explain what happened? What is behind the story? What is behind the conversation, please?
Yes, after discussions, our group came to the conclusion that it may be the conversation between 2 friends together. Yes, the boy, maybe between the boy and the girl, and the boy sets at an exam, and maybe they see the answer keys, all the materials on the internet, and they are cheating in the exam. They were cheating in the exams, and Yes, and through the conversations, as you can see that they use informal grammar, or they use informal vocabularies. It can show the relationship between two people. Maybe they have close relationships, and through the way they communicate with each other, they don't detail information, mean that they want to hide something wrong. They want to hide something wrong, so they just they didn't mention the details. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the imagination. Okay, can I ask Khánh Mai, do you have the same story or different one?
Oh, the story of my group is the same as Ngọc Anh group. After the online test, the one girl asked the boy, did you cheat in the exam?
So I should be very careful with the test I'm going to give you online. Okay, thank you. Khánh Mai, so Thị Dung, you have the same story or you have different one?
Yeah, at first we came up with the same story, but then I think that was too negative, so we decided to change into another context, because yesterday we have a big sale on Shopee. So as we can see that they're two friends, they omitted the sentence, so that it means that they have a very close relationship, and maybe they have mentioned the story before about stay up late and buy some things on Shopee. So just did you, and then hey, who wouldn't? I would definitely stay up late and do shopping.
Thank you very much. So you know the reason why we have different stories about one conversation. The conversation is there, but the context is not really clear. So each listener or each person needs to interpret the story in different ways based on your own experiences. So I doubt that those who tell me the story of cheating online, usually that based on your own story, your own experiences of cheating online. I'm sorry for that. And Thị Dung, you told me about the story of shopping online, also that based on your experiences as well. So we see that for each situation, when the context is not really clear, the people can understand in different ways. Now, so for that reason, when we talk about pragmatics, allow human to analyze, to allow human into the analysis, so that the people will analyze the meaning of the words. So the word can be understood in different ways. First of all, we can see that the people can talk about people intended meaning, their assumption, their purpose or goal, and kinds of action they're performing when they speak. That's one thing to show that we can get into the analysis. And you can see that on the human concept, I extremely difficult to analyze in consistent and objective way, because when we analyze, we base on our experiences and also our background to understand what the speaker means. So usually for one message, but understood differently by different people. And pragmatic is also very interesting and very appealing, because how people can make sense of each other linguistically. So we base on the information, we base on the language, we base on the language competence, and also a little bit cultural background and everything else, so that we can interpret other people. And sometimes we get it right, but it also very frustrating, because it requires us to make a lot of make sense of people. We need to understand the people really well in order to interpret what they have in mind. So pragmatics in general is the connection not only between the words and the entities of the word, but the connection between the word and the user of those words or those linguistic form. I would like to make a comparison between pragmatics and semantics. First, I want you to look up your dictionary and check the meaning of the word puppy, please. So, Miss Kim Phụng, what is the meaning of the word puppy from your dictionary?
Yes, I searched on the internet, and there are two meanings of the puppy. The first one is mentioned to a young dog, and the second meaning is the person or thing who is stupid.
Okay, thank you. That's really interesting. Thank you very much. So actually, I checked in Cambridge Dictionary, and puppy is the one word, and that's a young dog, and they give you some example. Okay, so usually we say that puppy is a young dog. And I would like you to look at this one. This is an extract by Lauren Miracle. And this is actually a story, a novel. And we have an extract that, hi, Bobby. She's not Bobby, she's a girl. Nancy mother says, Nancy pats me and says, good puppy, nice puppy. When her mother bends down to put her away, she trapped both arms around my legs and waist. No, my puppy. Okay, so can I ask you that the puppy in here, in this extract, what does it refer to? Can I invite New One, please?
I think that puppy is referred to the listener or the character me in the passage.
Actually, yeah, thank you very much, New One. Thank you for your answer. And actually in here, puppy is spoken by a little girl, a baby, and she means the girl. And the little girl name is Nancy. And for Nancy, she looked at the girl and she said that she's so lovely, and she called the girl puppy. Her mother tries to correct herself that that's not puppy but a girl. But Nancy continued talking about the puppy, and she loved the puppy so much. So in this situation, in this context, puppy does not refer to a young dog anymore, but refer to a beautiful girl, a beautiful lady. Okay, so you can see that sometimes the words or linguistic form are used differently from the meaning from dictionary, from the meaning defined by semantics. So that is the way we use pragmatics. I would like you to read your handout, your article in your lesson, in your book, and answer those questions. First, what regularity in terms of language use? Second, what is the appropriate way to respond, how are you in Saudi Arabia? And the third one, what is the problem if the response is okay or fine? And the last one, what is pragmatic ways practice? I want you to read and give me short answer in 4 minutes only.
So in terms of regularity, we have some regularity defined from the fact that people are members of social groups and follow general patterns of behavior expected within the group. And another sort of regularity is originated from the fact that most people within a linguistic community share the similar basic experiences of the word and share a lot of non-linguistic knowledge.
Beautiful. That's very good answer. So thank you very much. So when we talk about regularity, we mentioned to the behavior or the patterns of behavior expected within the group. So maybe in one group this is normal, but this is abnormal in another group. So don't view one group by perception and the eyes of the other people. And also we are talking about the linguistic community, how similar basic experiences and share a lot of non-linguistic knowledge. That's what we need to know. So we cannot understand each other using your linguistic knowledge, but also use your non-linguistic knowledge, for example, cultural knowledge as well, or community knowledge. Okay, so thank you very much for that. That's a very good answer. Now, come to the second question as an example to show you what is not normal in one group compared with others. What is the appropriate way to respond? How are you in Saudi Arabia? Can I ask Dante?
Yes, teacher. The answer would be praise to God, not like us. We often answer to the question like okay or fine. People answer like praise to God.
Thank you. That's it. Praise to God is the correct answer. Thank you very much. So what is the problem if the response is okay or fine? So can I ask someone volunteer, please? Triều Tiên.
Yes, the speaker will be considered the social outsider of the
That's
social
beautiful.
group.
That's right. It's not wrong. But when you say something like that, it shows that you are not here. You do not belong to this community. You do not belong to this group. And you are the outsider. It's like an agreement between the member of the group. Okay, you say something different. You are outsider. Thank you very much. So last one, what is the pragmatic waste bucket?
Teacher, I'm really I don't have a clear answer.
Okay, don't worry, Triều Tiên, please.
Yeah, actually, I am still confusing with the definition. But in as I know, I think that pragmatics is what all the linguists don't want to investigate and study, and all the linguistic problems relating to pragmatics are put into a box or something that all the linguists don't want to deal with.
Okay, thank you very much. Just so you know that usually people are very, especially linguistic experts. They are so interested in, they used to be very interested in principle, structure, and like they say in here, abstract principle and structure and abstract idea, features of language, complicated things, and they are full. They are full. We have a lot of rules. We have a lot of regulation forms and uses like that. And then they put any notes that have on everyday language use into the edges. That means they pay no attention to the use of the language, especially everyday use. And they put it away into what we call the waste packet. Now, it's our job to get it out, to put out everyday use of the language. And we analyze that, like we get into the waste bucket to understand more about how language is used. Okay, so that it is. Thank you very much. I have very shortly to introduce about pragmatics. Now, I would like you to look at this one, which is really nice, in my opinion. I don't know whether it's nice for you or not. What are those? Hồng cảnh. Is it not complicated? Is it not confusing? So can you tell me, what can you see?
They have roses.
They are roses?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I call them sunflower?
Yes.
Yes. Why?
Because roses belong to flowers. Yeah.
Okay, can I say water lily?
Water lily, not. I think
no.
Not. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Triều Tiên, tell me, what are they?
Yeah, they are roses.
They are roses. Can I call them water lily?
Yeah.
I saw that Dante say no. Dante say no.
I don't think so. I don't think
you don't
so.
think so. Everybody, I would like to quote a very famous saying by William Shakespeare. Shakespeare said that, what is in a name that would we call a rose by any other name which smell as sweet? So now I would like you to translate this one into Vietnamese, please. Có đôi lúc chúng ta phải lồng ghép văn chương ngữ nghĩa vào trong cái bài chúng ta để các anh chị thấy thuyết phục, đúng không ạ? Và câu này là một câu nói rất là nổi tiếng. Chúng ta sẽ thấy rất là nhiều status của các anh chị mà học về ngôn ngữ Anh cite cái câu này ở trên những cái status của họ. Rất là tuyệt vời, rất là ẩn ý, rất là hay. Bây giờ xin mời các nhà ngôn ngữ học hãy dịch nghĩa sang tiếng Việt cho nó thật là đẹp đi nào.
dù có gọi hoa hồng bằng cái tên gì đi nữa thì nó vẫn ngọt ngào.
Có nghĩa là
nó
cuối cùng em trở về bản ngã rồi, xin chúc mừng, rất là hay, rất là thú vị. Cái tên thì có ý nghĩa gì chứ? Ha, chúng ta hiểu như vậy, cái tên thì có ý gì? Tên thì có thật sự nó có ý nghĩa gì? Chẳng phải nếu như ta gọi hoa hồng bằng bất kỳ tên nào khác nó vẫn ngạt ngào hương hay sao? Cái câu của Shakespeare chỉ vậy thôi. Còn tùy theo tình huống, tùy theo mỗi người, tùy theo câu chuyện. Ví dụ như trong mắt của bạn My thì bạn My ớt nào mà ớt chẳng cay. Cái câu kế tiếp, câu đó là gái nào mà gái chẳng hay ghen chồng. Còn mấy ông thì mấy ông sẽ nói là ớt nào mà ớt chẳng cay, trai nào mà chẳng thích 1, 2, 3 bà. Tùy theo người nói thôi. Nhưng chúng ta hiểu câu của Shakespeare là cái tên thì có ý nghĩa gì chứ? Chẳng phải nếu ta gọi hoa hồng bằng bất kỳ một cái tên nào khác thì nó vẫn ngạt ngào hương đấy thôi. Có nghĩa là bây giờ mình mới giải thích tới nghĩa, có nghĩa là về bản chất nó không thay đổi. Còn nếu như Diệu Hương á, thì Diệu Hương sẽ viết là không cần biết em là ai, không cần biết em từ đâu, thì ta vẫn yêu em thôi. Nên cái tên nó không nói lên điều gì cả. Chúng ta có gọi tên sự vật, hiện tượng nó là gì thì nó không có quan trọng bằng bản chất của sự vật, hiện tượng đó. Như vậy chúng ta thấy là the ways we use the language, it does not actually meaning directly to relate to the entities in the word, but it depends on the speaker meaning. Okay, so next one, I would like you to look at another quote. This one is from cross-cultural study. There may be a gap between what a person is communicating and how people are understanding the message. How do you understand this one? Explain. How do you understand this one, and do you agree with this one, with this statement? There may be a gap between what a person is communicating and how people understanding the message. Nguyên Bình again.
Yes, I totally agree with this statement. I think it means sometimes the speaker and the listeners don't understand clearly what each other want to infer. For example, when I would like to invite my friend to go to the cinema, she answered that I have an appointment tonight. I don't understand. She answered that that she means she goes to the cinema late, or she cannot go to the cinema. And
okay, thank you very much.
Yes, okay.
That's very good ways of explaining the statement, and also very good way to clarify your idea. Thank you very much. That's fine. Okay, everybody. So we finished this one for today, for the morning. But now I have something for you. I would like you to have a rubric question. In what ways do you think pragmatics is useful? And this is the group work. So I'm going to get marks on this one. Các anh chị, chúng ta sẽ có một bài tập nhóm, và bài tập nhóm này sẽ là bài tập nhóm lấy điểm. Chúng ta chỉ trả lời câu hỏi này thôi dựa vào cái bài học sáng hôm nay. In what ways do you think pragmatics is useful? Muốn nói gì thì nói. Okay, and I would like you to give maximum 3 minutes presentation. Not more than 3. You can talk for 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 3 minutes. But I would like every single person in the group talks. You can use PowerPoint, or you can talk by yourself. No PowerPoint, no visual aids. It's up to you. Okay, but you will talk for 2 to 3 minutes answering the question. Everybody in the group will say something. Okay. Now I would like to put you into breakout rooms as a group, and in your room, I want you to answer the question together. After that, we'll have a lunch break. And then in the afternoon, we will start with the presentation.